reaction when you heard the series was canceled?
I would say shock. I kind of expected it to go for like 10, 20 more years, frankly.
I thought it would go forever and ever too, because it's one of the most successful dramas in television history. And when you play hooky or you're sick and you're at home and they have the Law and Order, episodes, or what do you call it? Marathons, the marathons, yeah. Right? That's gotten me through a lot of sick days. So, all right. So, Josh, why was Law and Order canceled?
This is Hollywood, Don. It was the bottom line. It's that simple. The show was making about $120,000, $130,000 for a 30-second ad buy last year.
Yeah.
This year, the ratings had slipped a little bit, as they have been for about the past 5 or 6, 7 years now. And they were only getting about $60,000 per episode, and that's an expensive show to make. So it just wasn't making money like it used to. And if it would have still been making money, we probably would have seen it for another 10 years. It's not the case.
But the ratings have to be pretty... They have to do okay, because it's not only on NBC, it has all these, spin-off episodes. It's also on one of our networks here. It's on USA. You see it everywhere. So it has to be successful in some sense. Was it an oversaturation? You think it was oversaturated?
No, the franchise was still pretty healthy. They were getting 6 and 7 million viewers in the slot on Monday nights, which is respectable for that time slot. But it wasn't necessarily the viewers that they wanted. It was only 1.7 rating, the 18 to 49 demographic. That franchise was just getting older, and the people who were watching were getting older as well. Mm-hmm. And it's time, I guess, had come. I mean, look, Law and Order, the original series is over, but Law and Order as a franchise, which has made billions of dollars, well, that's with a B, billions,
yeah,
for NBC Universal, and will live on for a long time.
I would venture a guess too, that this was sort of the impetus to those CSI things. I think this is where they sort of got the idea and just took it a little bit more high-tech. I'm always surprised, Brandon, it's like, it kind of lulls you in, Law and Order. You can watch it, you can stay tuned the whole time, or you can fall asleep and, you know what I mean, and wake up and then still sort of get back into it. So why do you think people, keep coming back? What makes it makes you keep wanting to come back to it?
I think because there's so much of it, and I first got into it when I was sort of on the verge of unemployment, and I started watching 3 hours a night, and decided I could either lose myself to that or turn it into art. And there's just you can see an episode and sort of forget you've seen it, because how it starts is not always how it ends, yeah. And it has its own formula and rhythms, and it's just kind of each episode, even if it's different, is still really familiar because it follows the same kind of pattern and structure, and it's just great. It's like a lullaby.
It's very interesting, because it's almost like background, background music sometimes, or elevator music. It's sad to say, but I'll see one and I didn't see the whole one, and then you'll catch and go, oh, I've seen this one, but I didn't see the middle, or I didn't see the end, and it's great that it's on. So there are so many actors who have been on Law and Order, and I think Law and Order made many of those actors famous, or at least was sort of helped their careers, gave a boost to their careers that had been struggling. Do you agree, Josh?
Yeah. Don't call up the cast list for Law and Order on IMDb, because it'll crash your computer. It's 2,300 people long, and that's just people who have appeared on multiple episodes. It doesn't include the one-shot wonders. Something like 700 speaking parts per season. And every one of those speaking parts is a paycheck for somebody, including residuals.
Who are some of the most famous alumnus there?
Oh gosh, I think that it made Chris Noth. That show
Mr. Big, right?
Has been through so many people. Yeah, it's like the Menudo model of television. You don't necessarily have to have the same stars year after year, as long as you keep cycling them through. A lot of drama behind the scenes with people coming and going in that show. But clearly the formula was the show. The formula was what was the mother of all crime procedurals on primetime television, which, as we see, dominates the primetime schedule right now. So they hit on something with the procedural,
okay,
and that was going to live on no matter who they cast.
Well, Josh and Brandon, I do have to say, it used to be that I think NBC had the most famous three, that doom, doom, doom. But now I think that the Law and Order chung chung, which is also called NBC, is probably the most famous 2 bars of music ever in television.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Brandon, I'm sorry. Don't cry. You'll be okay, all right? We always have reruns.
Yeah. like 500 of them.
You'll have Law and Order Los Angeles very, very soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
Just like this.
All right, thanks, guys. Whip out your 3D glasses because Playboy goes 3D next here on CNN.